Welcome, one and all. I'm Decoy, and I'm gonna admit that I got pretty bored, and I went just a little bit overboard because I've maxed out my camp budget a lot, and was like, I'm gonna go somewhere and just start building for the fun of it. Took a workshop, and then I maxed out its budget, building a small little city. Now out here on the outskirts, there's a couple tents set up for, I don't know, about 4 people could live out there if need be. Now, we'll start working our way through the town. Over here we have a little plant shop set up, and we'll actually take a look at the inside of that a little later. A little broken piece of plane back there had a spot where a hobo could live. Continuing our way up. This is how you get on top of a little guard tower I threw together. But really, the building right there in front of us, that was the starting point for everything else. Because I was bored. I just started building. And then I kept building. But I like the idea of building, I don't know, a partially destroyed building. So I made an office building where part of it had collapsed because, I mean, it is the wasteland. And really my thought process throughout the entire build was I was just reminiscing about the good old days of settlements and having settlers roaming about, having stuff to do. And if I could build just this one building for a settlement, oh, it'd be crazy because I'd turn these cubicles into little housing spots. I don't know. I would have fun with it. But it's not overly decorated. It's decorated just enough for me to be happy. And I do have an elevator shaft. That's what that is for those of you who weren't sure. We'll continue out. I made sure to have a few vendor stalls set up. And of course, if this was Fallout 4, there would be vendors in those stalls. That'd be awesome. Now, because it is a town, you do need a fair amount of shopping type stuff going on. So I've also got a furniture store set up, which for some reason at nighttime, you come in here and the game lags really, really bad. I have no idea why, but the game does not like me when it comes to that building. I made sure to have a stage area set up, because any good town needs a stage. But this right here is my favorite thing. This was a camp build idea I had. And I just decided, you know what, I'm going to make that part of the town. Lemon's Cars. Yep, a used car lot. I'm really proud of this one, alright? This was something that I wanted to throw into a little town that I was going to build for my camp, because it's a small build. It has a relatively small footprint on your budget, but it's so cool. So, by all means, feel free to steal that idea and throw it in one of your towns. People are going to enjoy it. Now, we head over here. We've got kind of like a little eating area. Of course, we got some cooking and crafting going on here. And then we've got 2 medical trailers set up, because people are going to get sick, alright? They're going to need somewhere to go. And it really makes me wish we had more medical-themed items to build in our camps. Because, there's not that much you can work with. It kind of sucks. But now we'll start working our way back through. And this building right here is something that I used to build fairly often back in my settlements. It was simple little apartment buildings. Now, this one actually is slightly larger than the ones I normally made, but the idea is still the same. You build just small little apartments that have the few things that someone's going to need: a bed, a chair, and you're set. Now, when I was desperate for budget, I would make people live in like a little 1 square box, because I'm a monster. And I wanted to save as much budget for other housing units as possible. But we'll continue our way. And now we come to the little monuments area of town. Simple little build thing, but hey, it fills up some space. Now, right beside the office building, we have a little plaza type area, and then the bar. I know, not much to look at, but conveniently I got thirsty when I walked in here. The odds of that happening, I don't know. I feel like maybe I should go look for some rare outfits because, wow. Now, the next little shop that I have is another one that I really like, and I'm surprised I don't see anybody building. There's a little store that just sells clocks. I named it the Clockworks because it seemed cool. I don't know. I do like that little vending stall, though. Pretty cool. Now we'll head in here. Now these are more of upscale apartments. Now, only 2 of them, but I mean, higher end living. I did have one of my friends ask me. He's like, is that like a prison? Like, what is that? I was like, no. It's built way better than the shacks down the road. That's for people who have too much money. Now, this is the other side of our little plant shop from earlier. Overall, just trying to figure out how I could work with this. And I was really bummed out that I maxed out my budget before I could come back and plant some crops in this area. But I think it still looks alright. Now, go past the awesome army tank to, it's like a little diner slash restaurant area, which is horribly overgrown. For some reason, I didn't want to get rid of all the grass and stuff coming through my floor, so this place has seen better days. It's a little bit dilapidated. Man, got rubble in here on my floor, and we're cooking a scorched heart. Alright, that's the specialty. Scorched heart. It is delicious. Now, the upstairs area here, got a nice little outdoor dining experience. And of course, I maxed out my budget, so I couldn't put doors in a few spots. But this is just little living quarters for the owner of this establishment. If I had a settler to assign to it, I wish I did. Because, man, I'd have some fun. And amazingly, we still have one more building to get to. And this one, I kind of wanted like a scrapyard, junkyard type area. So I just went ahead and threw a bunch of workbenches in here because this was the last building I got to when I really needed some workbenches here. But the whole thought process was, you can come out here, strip some parts off of a plane for something else, you're good to go. But that pretty much wraps up the tour of this place, and a nice little insight into what happens when you get bored and have some free time. And sadly, because it is a workshop, it will disappear. But, in takeaway, that car lot's still my favorite. I hope you've enjoyed this. As usual, please remember to like, sub, and share. Later.